If we were to pinpoint where it all started, that exact moment in time when Huawei rounded the curve from contender to top dog, it would most likely be this snapshot from 3 years ago, the launch of the P9 and the start of Huawei's partnership with Leica. Back then, both companies promised they would revolutionize smartphone photography. It took a while, but they finally did it. The Huawei P20 was groundbreaking, but they're not done yet. Today, Huawei is launching the P30 Pro, and with it come bold new promises to rewrite the rules of photography. But did they? Hi, I'm Michael Josh, you're watching Gadget Match, and this is our Huawei P30 and P30 Pro hands-on. Here they are, the P30 and the P30 Pro. What you need to see and hear about are these 4 new cameras that can do new and different things. But our introduction begins with a color story. It may be commonplace now, but last year when the P20 debuted in this stunning twilight gradient, there was nothing quite like it. This year, twilight becomes aurora, with an extra shimmer that's made to look like the northern lights, from where this gradient finish gets its inspiration. Some markets will get this lovely red-orange finish, amber sunrise, or get a bit of both. My favorite, breathing crystal, a pearlescent white that's sometimes a faint twilight, or a red and yellow depending on how the light touches the phone. But before you get attached to a color, do note that availability will depend on your respective market. For example, in Singapore, at least at launch, the P30 will only be available in Aurora, breathing crystal, and black. Both the P30 and P30 Pro are all-glass smartphones with metal frames. Apart from the obvious difference, there are other subtleties to distinguish one from the other. The P30 Pro is curvy-licious, with a curved backside to match its curved display. The P30 has a flat, more traditional panel. I like the sexy dual curves on the P30 Pro. The phone is bigger than last year's model, but still fits comfortably in the hand. Having said that, I have a lot of friends who are adamant about their preference for a flat display, so it really boils down to personal preference. Are you team curved or team flat? Sound off in the comments section below. Huawei is keeping the notch on the P series, reducing it to a teardrop shape. If we're nitpicking, there's still a tiny bit of forehead and chin, but otherwise, it's as edge to edge as it gets. The display on both models is rich and vibrant, and underneath is a new and improved under-display fingerprint scanner that, based on our initial test, is as fast, if not faster, than the ultrasonic scanner on the Galaxy S10 Plus. It's the most secure biometric option on this phone, as Face Unlock on the P30, while AI assisted, is still based on a 2D scan using the selfie camera, and that's less secure. The display on the P30 Pro also doubles as an earpiece and extra speaker. They call it an acoustic display. One little design feature you might miss are the P30's flat top and bottom edges. They're a nice touch. Up top, there's still an IR blaster for those who would rather use their phones as remotes, and on the bottom, see here, the headphone jack returns, but only on the non-Pro model. Also worth mentioning, the SIM card tray. It's double-sided for 2 nano SIMs, or 1 SIM and 1 nano memory card, which only Huawei makes. Okay, now on to the main event. The P30 Pro has 4 Leica cameras on its rear. Let me break them down for you. Circle, circle, square, that's a flash, and circle. The first is an ultra-wide-angle camera, which is perfect when you're traveling and want to take in more of the scene. It also doubles as a macro lens for getting in real close on subjects. Next, a 40 megapixel standard camera. Now, this square shape isn't a lens per se, it's the prism of a periscope. Tucked underneath is a zoom lens array. This gives the P30 Pro 5 times optical zoom, more than we've ever seen on a smartphone to date. Combined with software and AI magic, you can also get up to near lossless 10 times hybrid zoom, and 50 times digital zoom. But wait, there's more. Right beside the flash on the P30 Pro is a fourth camera, a time-of-flight camera that measures depth in real time. This gives you bokeh that closely resembles something taken using a high-end digital camera, so that objects in a photo will have different amounts of blur depending on how near or far they are from you. Huawei says using the TOF camera, they're also building an augmented reality measuring app. Now, what about that rewriting the rules bit? Right, that requires a little bit of a technical explanation. Allow me to simplify. Digital camera sensors are traditionally made of red, green, and blue bits that measure color in a scene. But what if you switched green for yellow? That's exactly what Huawei and Leica did on the P30. So instead of this, sensors look like this. Now, one of the justifications behind this is that a yellow filter is lighter than a green filter, therefore letting in more light when an image is captured. Now, Huawei says a lot of technology and physics went in to be able to make this change, but at the end of the day, all of it put together makes the P30 and the P30 Pro take even better photos in low light. To try this, I found the darkest little corner of my briefing room and set up a dark room of my own. This is what normal mode on the P30 looks like, which is already pretty good. But then, look at night mode. One could say the P30 can see in the dark, and it's pretty amazing. Master AI mode is still available on the phone, and you can toggle it on and off if you want to give it the power to adjust how a photo looks based on what it thinks are the ideal settings. Huawei's groundbreaking handheld long exposure night mode also gets an expanded set of features. One of them, called Silk Water Effects, is one that we have yet to try, but should look like this stock photo. It also works in portrait mode, and combined with AI HDR Plus, can help you shoot well-lit portraits even when shooting against the harsh rays of the sun. We really need more time to be able to dive into all the new camera features on the P30, but for now, take a look at some sample shots. And before we move on, the P30 and the P30 Pro have slightly different camera specs. We break it down for you here. This year, Huawei says it's really made a conscious effort to be able to bring the same great experience as taking photos to taking videos. For one, shooting videos in low light shouldn't produce dark fuzzy video like this. Where they really improved is stabilization when shooting full HD content. We tried it out, even shook the phone exaggeratedly, and yeah, it does the job. Here, take a look. Then there's the zoom lens, which also can come in handy. You can now zoom in and out up to 10 times with hybrid zoom on the P30 Pro. At our briefing, reps from Huawei also told us that they're working on a dual video capture feature, allowing you to be able to capture video using two cameras simultaneously. That will be available via an over-the-air update coming really soon. There's much more to love about the new P30 and P30 Pro. We haven't yet talked about its 32 megapixel selfie camera, but here are a few samples. Both phones are packed with Huawei's newest Kirin 980 processor, come with configs of up to 8 GB of RAM and plenty of built-in storage. Notice in this comparison chart, the P30 Pro has a larger battery, comes with a 40-watt supercharger, and supports both wireless and reverse wireless charging. The P30 Pro is water and dust resistant, while the P30 is only splash resistant. Yep, the Pro in the P30 Pro definitely has its merits. Whew, that was a lot to cover, and we've barely scratched the surface. Are the P30 and the P30 Pro your gadget match? Well, I'll be picking up my review unit today and will be immediately moving into the phone as my daily driver. I'll let you know in at least 2 weeks. But based on first impressions, the P30 Pro is poised to be one of the best smartphones of 2019. For a premium phone, it delivers where it matters: design, cameras, and battery life. And since we're in Paris, let me pull from my very limited French vocabulary. The P30 Pro has that je ne sais quoi, did I say it right? An intangible quality that both thrills and excites. And what more could you ask for in a smartphone? And that was our Huawei P30 and P30 Pro hands-on. For more videos like this one, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that bell icon so that you get notified as soon as we post that review video. Follow us on Instagram for all the fun stuff. And as always, make GadgetMatch.com your daily habit. Until the next video, I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.